you are unsure of how to do that, you stay with me today during recess, and I can help you with completing that. So if you did not do it correctly, and that is the time to get help from me on it. Do what? 1 or 200? I can't remember exactly.
Is the grade inside?
The grades are inside. We have 2 grades inside. Everybody has 2 grades except for Bright. You have 2 grades inside.
I got a 91. A grade 11 higher.
Alright, we're going to give you 2 minutes to look at your grades, then we're beginning. So look at them, and then when you're ready, close your books. We know you're ready to move on. Come on into your head.
I didn't get a grade on the picture. Your face doesn't. Pretty good.
Child on the platter. Child on the platter. Alright, you've got 5 seconds to close to the front. 5. Not be working on it right now. 4. 3. Stop your away, please. You have to come back to it later. 2. 1.
Okay, I need everybody to open their grammar book to page 13. When you're on page 13, give me a thumbs up. It is. Oh, I just changed it. Yeah, so it's not distracting. Okay. Oh, sorry. Y'all have it over there, purple table? Page 13? Okay, so I'm going to read the passage to you that's on there. The first time, I just want you to listen carefully and kind of think about what you're picturing. Okay? So Nikki wound her way up the narrow trail, working Goblin into an easy canter. Giant pines lined the trail on both sides. Every so often, a rabbit would dart out of the brush and race alongside Goblin, then disappear into the undergrowth. Goblin whinnied playfully each time. He seemed to enjoy the game. Several miles up, Nikki topped out on a peak overlooking the meadow. To her right were beautiful mountains. It was peaceful here. She stopped and took a deep breath of air. In the meadow below, a movement caught her eye, and she slid the binoculars from the saddlebag. Bighorn. A large band of bighorn sheep was passing through from the salt licks on its way up to the mountain. The rams marched like royalty with their horns held high. The lambs jumped over their mothers, chased one another, and butted heads with an unending supply of energy. So this next time I read it, do y'all see the little section underneath where the passage was? Okay, so this time whenever I read it, I want you to sketch what you see under there. doesn't have to be elaborate or colored or anything, but I want a sketch of what you see whenever I read the passage, okay? Is everybody ready? Is everybody have a pencil? Yeah. Okay. Nikki wound her way up the narrow trail, working Goblin into an easy canter. Giant pines lined the trail on both sides. Every so often, a rabbit would dart out of the brush and race alongside Goblin, then disappear into the undergrowth. Goblin whinnied playfully each time. He seemed to enjoy the game. Several miles up, Nikki topped out on a peak overlooking a meadow. To her right were beautiful mountains. It was peaceful here. She stopped and took a deep breath of air. In the meadow below, a movement caught her eye, and she slid the binoculars from the saddlebag. Bighorn. A large band of bighorn sheep was passing through from the salt lake on its way up to the mountains. The rams marched like royalty with their horns held high. The lambs jumped over their mothers, chased one another, and butted heads with an unending supply of energy. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to complete your picture. Okay, now some of you might not be all the way done, but that's okay. What are some things that you drew? Raise your hand. Awesome. You drew going up the mountain. Your guy? Good. Good. Speak the wise of this. Liliana? Good. So what words helped y'all to come up with the picture that you drew? What words in the passage? Nia? Goats. Goats? Good. So you had goats in your picture? Talked a lot about that, huh? Right? Acorn. Acorn. Tess? The meadow. Nico? Good. So there were also a lot of adjectives in there, huh? Like bighorn, scribble table. So today we're focusing on adjectives. You can tell me what an adjective is. Liliana? Okay, so that's a noun, right? Something that you're doing. Right? An action. An action. So an action word is a verb, right? What's an adjective? Anybody? Good. So it describes a noun or a pronoun. So it can give us the size, color, number, or a description. So right now, I want everybody to close their eyes. I'm going to read you a sentence. I want you to picture what I read to you. So the woman walked down the street. What did you picture? A woman walking down the street. Pictured an old lady? Did anybody picture anything other than an older lady?
Yeah,
people walking
I saw trees, a bunny.
I saw the Easter bunny.
Okay.
I saw the back of her head.
Okay, so now I want everybody to close your eyes again. Let's see what happens whenever I add a different word in. So the elderly woman walked down the street.
The old woman walked down the street.
So now everybody saw an older lady, right? The first time it was just Nico.
I saw her with Katie.
Candy?
Candy.
Okay, but the point is, so whenever you add in adjectives, it gives the readers as a whole a better picture of what you're trying to tell them, right? So let's look back at the passage that we read earlier. I'm going to give you a few minutes. I want you to underline the noun one time and the verb twice. Okay, so how many times are you underlining the noun?
One.
The verb?
One.
Okay, so look through your passage. I want this is independent work, so it should be really quiet in here, okay?
You're doing subject once, predicate twice. Just like we've done previously. Subject is one, subject is your noun. Who or what it's about. You were underlining one time the noun, the subject, who it's about, the what it's about, underlining two times the verb, what it is that they're doing.
So when you're done with underlining the nouns and the verbs, the subjects and the predicates, you can then go back through and I want you to circle the adjectives. Circle all the adjectives.
When you're looking for adjectives, adjectives describe a noun. They tell what kind of thing. Like I have a poster up that says what's an adjective. All of those words describe popcorn. Popcorn is buttery, greasy, yellow, white, small. We're looking for words like that.
Okay, when you're done, I want you to read silently by yourself. Okay? Silently, Orange. Okay, can I have everyone return to your seats, please? Yes. For God, return to your seats, please. Okay, so does everybody still have their packets open? If not, open it back up to page 14. Thumbs up whenever your packet's on page 14. For God, can you open it back up to 14? There? They're all there? Okay, so you should see the same passage basically, but with a bunch of blanks. Does everybody see that? Yeah. On the page? Okay. So authors choose adjectives carefully because they want the reader to see and feel the scene, right? Just like whenever we were talking about the lady and we added the word elderly and everybody saw the same thing. So on the very next page, there's a strip of adjectives. So I want everyone to cut those out, and then you're going to glue them into the spaces on the previous page. You can work with a partner if you'd like, so I want the noise level to stay low.
So you're pulling out the next page, cutting out your adjectives, next page, cutting out your adjectives, and then gluing them in the blank.
Okay, you're working with someone else.
Wait, we're supposed to
Yeah, rip it out, and then you're going to cut out those adjectives.
I'm going to cut my nose off. Yeah, blue blood. Ow, ow. Yes, show everybody this.
So what are we supposed to do again?
So you're going to cut out all of these adjectives and then you're going to glue them. Huh? Oh yeah.
Something like snow cap.
Right, so where would snow caps go?
Really? That's pretty good. You can't get back here. Get back No, it's like someone who's famous in the world, someone who's famous, but they don't really know. What? No. What is it? Chocolate in my stomach. That kind of. That's. And a happy island. And a pizza.
How are y'all doing with adjectives feeling?
Magic dust. What is chewing? It's supposed to be a true holly. Did you know that? And did you? Two hollies and a true holly. A true holly. Wait, no. I can't see it. That's right there. No, right there. Did you say that? Me too, but sorry. Yeah, your turn. When you're done, I want you to read quietly while we're waiting for others, but I need you to stay in your seat. do you want to read this more? I already read all of them. No, it's real good. Ew. Gross. Chicken there? Everybody's scared.
For those of you still working, you have 2 minutes.
I bet you actually, I'm going to I was trying to get up.
Okay, I need everyone to be in their seats and quiet in 5, 4, and that's going to be in order. 3, 2, okay, 1. Alright, so there are several places that you could have put these adjectives, right? I'm going to read through the passage, and whenever we get to a place where an adjective is supposed to be, I want you to raise your hand, okay, and tell me which adjective is supposed to be. Is everybody ready and following along? Everybody's open in page 14. Yeah. 14. Okay. Nikki lounged her way up the narrow trail, working Goblin into an easy canter. Giant pines lined the trail on both sides. Every so often, a rabbit would dart out of the brush and race alongside Goblin, then disappear into the undergrowth. Goblin whinnied playfully each time. He seemed to enjoy the game. Several miles up, Nikki topped out on a small peak overlooking a grassy meadow. To her right were beautiful, Juliana, what'd you put? Spring Mountain. It was peaceful here. She stopped and took a deep breath of fresh air. Okay, raise your hand. Devian?
I put it
A deep breath of fresh air. In the meadow below, a movement caught her eye, and she slid the binoculars from the saddlebag. Bighorn. A large band of bighorn sheep was passing through from the salt lake on its way up to the mountain. The big rams marched like royalty with their curled horns held high. The small lambs jumped over their mothers, chased one another, and butted heads with an unending supply of energy. So yes, question? Okay, so that's fine, right? So everybody could have put different adjectives in, right? Was everybody the same, or were there some others that were different? They were different, right? So even though they were different, it still makes sense, right? It's how you wanted your passage to look. So next, on the very next page, flip over. There should be an anchor chart. So I want you to fill in what you learned about adjectives, one example from your writing, and examples from a text that you've read. So an example from a text that you read could be from the passage that we were just going over, right? Okay, so this is independent work. Whenever you're done, I want you to close your book so I know that you're finished.
What do you mean by
Examples from your writing?
Yeah.
So, like in your writer's notebook, you can look and see if you ever described anything?
I don't know.
Look, you have the definition right there. Right here. So where does it says more about it? Yeah, 1 minute to finish this up.
Any books you ever read that I've
I see a lot of scissors still on tables, and pencils on tables, and glue still on tables. Just make sure all of those get put back in the community basket. Alright, if you redid any of your grammar book and you're ready for me to regrade it, you can turn it into the redo bucket. You are not done redoing it, then you can hold on to it and do it when you have a free moment. If you